How strong is Itadori Yuji and JJK Modulo? Itadori Yuji is the main protagonist of Jujutsu Kaisen, and he will be playing a major role in JJK Modulo. But today we're going to talk about all of his powers and all of the abilities that he will be able to use by this time in Modulo. As we know, Deborah is facing off with Maharaga right now. Everybody knows that this is going to go down to Itadori Yuji versus Deborah. But how is Itadori Yuji going to be able to go against a being like this? I mean, we could talk about the ideologies between the two and why Itadori Yuji would be better, but in all reality, Itadori Yuji and JJK Modulo is no joke. From soul manipulation, cleave and dismantle, and even blood manipulation, this man has so many possibilities, he's just so OP. So with that being said, let's get right into it. From the very beginning of the show, we obviously know that Itadori Yuji is motherfucking so strong that this man is doing Olympic level stuff with no training whatsoever. And he does much more of this as he's going against curses with no curse energy, and he's doing some crazy feats. Literally going band for band with Maki in their battle against Maguna, 15 fingers mind you. Even Maki at one point was like, yo, can I speed this up? And Itadori's like, yo, let's do it. He wants to put the hands on Sukuna ASAP, and this man is just straight to it. Mind you, Maki was just realized to be on the same level as Toji. So before anybody goes, oh yeah, but what about Toji, all this? Nah, bro, she on the same level now. Yuji Itadori's like another Toji and Maki. This is crazy. Now imagine if you give them 3 abilities now. I'm just saying, bro, this is already sounding crazy. Not to mention, bro also learns RCT. He got reverse curse technique. This motherfucker can heal. This is crazy. But this is where it's gonna get to the really good stuff. This man's mastery over Black Flash has to be insane. I'm talking about this man has not only holds the record, but it's so crazy on whenever he wants to hit it, he's going to hit it. It legit state that he was chosen by the sparks of Black Flash. Like, what? Not to mention that also if you hit a couple Black Flashes, bro, you're in the flow state. You're acting on 120% of what you could possibly do. So if you already mastered it, 120% of that. Like, you're giving out every single bit that you could possibly give out. But with that being said, I really want to get onto the main things, and it's his curse technique masteries. Because we know by JJK Modulo, it's already been like, I'll say 70 years latest that bro has to like learn all these techniques, even master his domain, but we're not going to like get to that till the very last being. So let's really hone in on what we for sure know he has, and that is his shrine. So from the obvious cleave, dismantle, we know that it's going to be actually used differently since its cutting is just changed throughout the years. So that's why we see Sukuna with an actual like knife slash versus Yuji with a damn scissor. He's going to be using cleave and dismantle in a way different, more technological use. So I believe this is also going to add to him, as I think Fuga is not just going to be a big old fire la bam bam. It might be some crazy microwave radiation like a darn nuke. Now, this is all headcanon, of course, but we can more than likely know that it's going to either be like from some microwave or an oven is going to be like his Fuga. Because what other thing is he going to think about? Definitely Itadori is going to be thinking about a microwave, right? Like, come on. And then we're going to have to obviously address the main elephant in the room, and that's going to be his world cutting dismantle. We obviously know that Sukuna wasn't able to use this in his body, so he wouldn't get it much easier than before, but we know that it was displayed to him, and everybody watched him and explained how he was able to do this, so it's possible. The only problem that I do see this is how is he going to be able to pull this off, as Sukuna needed to do one hand or like 2 hands using the signs and then the other one casting it and pointing it, so he needed actual 4 arms for this, which when you give Itadori Yuji enough time and mess around with some binding vows, I really find it hard to believe that he's not going to find a little loophole and a way around it to be able to do this. So with all of this being addressed, let's get on to his second curse technique that he's going to be able to be using, and that is his blood manipulation. We've actually seen a couple of his moves being already used, like piercing blood, and that's pretty much it. Actually, he spit his blood once on Sukuna and made it explode, which was pretty fire. He still has a whole bunch of other blood like manipulation that he could be using, like flowing red scale, and bro could even do a darn supernova that Choso be doing. But there's also a whole bunch of other things that he could be doing also with his blood manipulation, as we saw Choso was able to detach limbs and making his arms like protrude out and to grab opponents, and we could possibly see Yuji do the same type of thing. This is so many crazy stuff that Yuji could also do. But with the final part, I really don't count this one as a curse technique because it really isn't. It's just something that he was able to gain with being a vessel for Sukuna, or rather a cage for that, and that's honestly his soul manipulation, as he's able to do soul dismantles, bro, which is so crazy to even think about. and he's able to touch and perceive the soul, which is why he was able to go against a being like Mahito and damage him. Now, it's really crazy to really think about his soul abilities, just because I don't think he's able to really combine them, like all of that. Like, imagine a soul fuga, like what, or a blood, like a piercing blood, like soul thing. I don't know. I don't really think it works like that. I think it's really limited to cleave and dismantle, just because they're just slashes to the soul or the border of it. But I really wouldn't be that much surprised if he was able to like use them, because after all these years, like he should be able to do some crazy stuff. Even maybe scope the soul using like some dismantle or cleave. Like, it'll be pretty crazy to see this. Now that we address all three of his abilities, we really got to talk about the fact that he could actually use these abilities with one another. Like, he could use like the flowing red scale, all of that abilities to stack his on top of his OP body to make him stronger than what he is, faster than what he is, to even see things and have a better perception of them. Also, possibly, hear me out, y'all, hear me out, a blood-coated dismantle or cleave, because we seen Choso was able to leave the blood hanging around and he could send a cleave through it and maybe coat it and harden it. I don't know, but that would be so fire. Now, this is where things get a little crazy, but I'm just saying, with 80 years and all this time that passed, I would not hold it against bro if bro hits him with a blood-coated world-cutting dismantle, soul dismantle at that. Like, that would be so crazy. But listen, it's all headcanon, but I would love to see something like this. I know he'll be so OP, but this is the possibility that this is his potential. This is Itadori Yuji, the new strongest potential. And don't go over here saying that this is not possible, that Itadori Yuji won't be able to do it. Bro, he's seen the pinnacle of Jujutsu be done. He's seen Gojo versus Sukuna. He's seen the what ifs turn to reality with an open barrier. And that's what we're getting to next. A domain expansion by Itadori Yuji. Now we know obviously his sure hit is the soul dismantle that was being placed, or just dismantles in general, just like a malevolent shrine from Sukuna. I would love to also see that his domain is an open barrier like Sukuna's, as he's seen it multiple times and it was done in his body, so it should be easier for him to understand and be able to perform this and pull it off. Now, if all of his abilities are being used in tangent with one another, so literally if he has his domain open, that's a boost in all of his attributes, and if he uses flowing red scale, that's another boost in all of his attributes. He's getting so OP on top of his heavenly restricted body damn near, and he has all of these abilities to use and just has a sure hit in his domain. I really don't see anybody going blow for blow with him. Maybe a full potential Megami, but that's potential, man. That dude will never live up to anything, but listen, that's for another day. I don't want to get into with that dude. But we all know that Itadori Yuji will be basically too OP. And once again, y'all, this is headcanon. I'm not saying that all of this is for sure going to happen, but this is a possibility that's very much true. And I explain the reasoning for it. And if he was to also, just hear me out on this, the amount of OP use that Binding Vows is, we see the Binding Vow merchant, Sukuna, the man himself, the legend, the king of curses, use him so much that it was so OP. Like, I don't know. I feel like if Itadori Yuji was to take in and learn from that, because I honestly know that Itadori Yuji will do anything just to become stronger. We've seen him as he was eating the curse, the death painting wounds. He will be able to learn from this and possibly enhance his further abilities with that. So with that being said, y'all, this is where I really honestly think that Itadori Yuji should be in Modulo. Yes, he sounds pretty crazy, but if they're already giving us Sukuna level threats, we need somebody that's way above a Sukuna level person, and it's got to be Yuji. Because we all know that the Bora represents the age of the old strongest, which I'm going to make a video on that, on the ideologies with everything, because I'm not really good with power scaling, y'all. I'm not really good, but I like to talk about the possibilities of things, and I really like to really dive deep on the wills and ideologies of all these characters, so you will definitely be hearing a lot more of that with me. So if you guys really could y'all please follow up? I really want to get to 10K on the channel and really push this YouTube stuff forward. So yes, and we upload shorts every day, we upload everything, and I'm gonna go live again. I haven't been going live just because I've been really focusing on a couple of things with yeah, my life and stuff. So yes, with that being said, I love y'all. Could y'all please follow up? Leave some comments down below on some videos you guys want me to talk about. And yes, I would debate y'all in those comments. So don't think I'm not going to read those shits. I read every single one of them. Let's go.